No. Pace. Don't do it. No. Don't do it. No. Don't do it. Don't do it. No. 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 Don't even think of no. Don't even think about no.
What's going on, guys? It's K-Dub here with another episode of Crypto Zombie. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having a great day today. Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies falling as I'm making this video. We could see that we also had breaking news that the Dow essentially has opened 700 points lower. In fact, we have the International Monetary Fund saying that the economy this year is likely to suffer the worst financial crisis seen since the Great Depression. They expect that the overall economy will contract by 3%, and we may see a partial recovery by next year. This all depends on the health crisis. Meanwhile, while all of this is happening, gold is absolutely skyrocketing. It's seen its highest levels in over 7.5 years. Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies still going sideways. We are coming very close to the end of a critical level where this uptrend will meet this very important moving average, and I am expecting a massive move for Bitcoin. Now, having a look right here, we do notice that searches for inflation hedge are at a 1-year high. However, the question is, with gold prices soaring, physical gold and silver very hard to come by, will Bitcoin follow, or are we looking for lower levels? I think yesterday's video, a lot of people really didn't understand the severity of the potential ban on stablecoins, and I do want to discuss that. Some people saying we could be looking for a multi-year bear market, okay? Now, it's not all doom and gloom. I also want to talk about one scenario known as the Bitcoin Supercycle, which if it does play out, we could see Bitcoin hit prices upwards of $2 million per Bitcoin. You heard me correct. This is an actual possibility, and I'm going to show you why in just a minute. And also, we do have the fact that China is looking to launch their national blockchain platform next week. What does this mean for Bitcoin and cryptocurrency? Well, stick around and we'll find out. If you're not subscribed to the Crypto Zombie channel, definitely consider it. And before we move on, I have one super quick announcement. We do have the Blockchain Influencer Awards once again. As you guys know, I did win Influencer of the Year last year. Thank you so much for everybody that voted. I am up for a few different categories this year, including educational video, news video, and they do once again have me up for Influencer of the Year, along with some other great names as well. If you guys are interested, I will drop the link below. If you want to vote for me, you can. If you don't want to, you don't have to. Basically, you just go here, you basically pick whoever you want, and as you can see, the only category that you do have to actually fill out is the Influencer of the Year. You can leave some of them blank, but I just wanted to let you guys know. Thank you so much again. They are doing this again. I will drop the link below. If you want to vote for me, you can. You don't have to, but obviously it would be much appreciated if you do appreciate this content. Now, into the meat and potatoes of the video. So you can see right here, we have this 50-day moving average basically about to come to a cross, an apex with this uptrend. Bitcoin is getting squished. You could see right here, it bounces down, touches the top, bounces down, and we are looking for a massive move. Now, we have pointed out the potential head and shoulder patterns right here. So we could have a drop all the way down to the $5,800 level. Now, if we are to break to the upside, well, then we could see Bitcoin retest right here at around the $7,200 level where we have the most accumulated VPVR. And if we were to break above that, we could see a $7,800 Bitcoin. However, some people have pointed out that on the 4-hour chart, we do have a CME futures gap all the way down at 3,570. However, this is on the 4-hour chart. If we do go this low, I personally don't think it has anything to do with the CME futures gap. I like to switch this only to the daily. For me personally, that's what I look at. And, you know, if we were to pretty much just zoom out and have a look at this, it's really not that big of a deal. I'm looking more at this giant one up here at around $9,060, if anything. And having a look right here, you are noticing that on the grandest VPVR of all, Bitcoin has respected sort of this $6,400 level. And as long as we could stay above the $5,650 level, which is the 200 weekly moving average, well, then I think that we could say Bitcoin is still in bullish territory. In fact, you could see once again, Robert Kiyosaki has come out and said amid the virus crisis, it is great for gold, silver, and Bitcoin. The US is printing 10 trillion in fake US dollars to save the US Fed. Well, we all know how that's probably going to end, right? But I know what you're saying. Gold is absolutely pumping. We're seeing inflation head searches basically at an all-time high in the past year. What is going on with Bitcoin? Why isn't Bitcoin enjoying the uplift that gold is enjoying? Well, one possible reason, according to Jeff Dorman, he's the chief investment officer over at Arca Funds, he says that physical metal is so much easier to buy. That's especially true for traditional investors who have long turned to gold as a safe haven, even during times of economic crisis and market turmoil. He basically says, hey, look, gold can easily be purchased from the same brokerage accounts as stocks and bonds, whereas Bitcoin cannot. So a lot of these people that were selling their money, selling their assets, selling their stocks, now they're sitting in cash, right? And now they're thinking, well, what can I do with it? Well, it's a lot easier to just switch that instantly into gold than it is to do into Bitcoin. It's as plausible as an explanation as any, given that Bitcoin was launched just 11 years ago. Also, you have to consider that gold has served as a symbol of riches at least since the Sumerians civilized Mesopotamia. Now, I want to start off with one bit of sort of negative news, and then we're going to switch to the positive news. And I want to give a massive shout out to the Crypto Lark. If you haven't checked out his channel, definitely consider giving it subscribe to the channel. He goes into why what is happening right now, potentially, if we do have a ban on stable coins, it could cause a massive, he calls it a savage price fall if central banks get their way. And I want you guys to check this video out super quick before we continue with sort of the positive news of the day. And I am going to give this video a quick like before we play it.
If you are a Bitcoin maximalist and you're out there cheering this on and say, yeah, take down all the stable coins, man, wake the fook up. The exact same reasons that they are citing today to justify a stablecoin ban that will be used against Bitcoin in the future. Yes, today it's stablecoins, but tomorrow it will be basically anything that threatens the fiat monopoly that the central banks have over society. And that thing, if you are really a believer in Bitcoin, is Bitcoin. And while the bankers cannot shut Bitcoin down, they can certainly do a whole heck of a lot to regulate it into impotence. The fight for financial freedom is everyone's fight. Now look, at a practical level here, it will not stop all stablecoins, but it will certainly shut down the regulated and semi-regulated ones, things like USDC and Paxos, as well as, of course, as Tether. Now, these coins are uniquely vulnerable because there are people who can be arrested and forced to shut the whole gosh darn thing down. There are bank accounts which can be seized by authorities, thus shutting the whole gosh darn thing down. DAI, however, will be much, much harder to stop because this is really a decentralized stablecoin. And it may not even be stoppable since it is really just a crypto-backed collateral coin. But that remains to be seen if they will be able to stop that or not should all of this go through. And hey, look, yeah, sure, Tether is a mess. I've been very critical of Tether for a long time, but others like DAI and USDC, they are not. Stablecoins are a very useful part of the crypto economy, and they should exist. Also, a stablecoin ban will likely throw Bitcoin into what could be the worst bear market of all time. I mean, if this happens, we could see a sub $1,000 Bitcoin. I mean, hey, nice time for buyers, right? I would totally be stacking some Bitcoin at those prices. But such an event, I think, would actually destroy a lot of people's faith in the crypto industry overall. Now, long term, this could be a positive for Bitcoin only being traded directly in and out of fiat. But it will also push the industry more towards really highly regulated exchanges and more into the hands of Wall Street in the long run. The FSB, man, seriously, who the fuck are these guys? Anyway, more unelected bureaucrats just pulling our pants down and giving us a dirty old rogering. Wiping out stablecoins, it is potentially also a natural progression towards central bank digital currencies, which, make no mistake, those are coming, and they will be very impactful when they do. The banking cartels are going to do anything that they can to maintain power. I mean, just screw the bankers. Seriously, what a bunch of douches. Never is your freedom given priority. It's only ever their power, their money, their mates, their rules, their profits, their game. What a sick system to live in. Decentralized systems, oh, they're so much more exciting than what we have right now. We must stop bowing down and submitting to the perversions of these ruling elites. But one thing does remain certain in my mind. Even if stablecoins get crushed, Bitcoin will carry on. Bitcoin is the steady survivor. Rain or shine, hell or high water, the blocks just keep coming. The fight for financial freedom is now entering the next phase, and Bitcoin remains the tip of the spear.
So hopefully that somewhat clarifies the negatives and the potential positives to the scenario. Now, I do want to flip it over to actually, surprisingly, another interview that was done by the Crypto Lark with the Director of Business Development at Kraken, Dan Held. Now, he is a Bitcoin OG. He has been around since the beginning, and he explains why he thinks that this is Bitcoin's time and why he sees Bitcoin potentially entering a super cycle where we could see a $2 million Bitcoin. He basically says that the industry as a whole has grown immensely over the years, citing the rise in the number of investors holding Bitcoin, as well as an increase in mainstream coverage from outlets like CNBC. Also, not to mention the fact that we have seen a lot of investors pulling crypto off of the exchanges and putting them into hardware wallets like the Ledger Nano S. Now, according to him, the current macro backdrop is fuel for Bitcoin's future. He points to a contrarian argument that Bitcoin could begin what is known as a super cycle and move far beyond even the most bullish predictions. He says we're seeing a scenario where there is a literal infinite amount of fiat that will be printed, and there's only 21 million Bitcoin. It's hard to predict, but long term, maybe even late 2021, is when a lot of the models predict that we will see these historical highs. The classic models show us maybe 80,000, maybe a $300,000 Bitcoin, but he says we could see something even crazier. We could see Bitcoin enter a super cycle where everyone's seen, the graph of the logarithmic chart of Bitcoin, where you get that little boom, that bust, that boom, that bust. But what if Bitcoin went a step higher? What if it absolutely skyrocketed? If the world truly fears that their money is being devalued, every institution, every sovereign wealth fund, every central bank, if they all truly fear that, Bitcoin is not going to stop at 100,000 or 300,000 or even a million. In fact, we could see it go as high as $2 million, or we've even seen some people like Carl from the Moon, for example, calling for a $5 million Bitcoin. This is possible. You have to consider inflation, constant printing of the dollar, what this inflation is going to do in turn to a capped supply. A hard supply of 21 million, 4 million lost forever. Satoshi still got his, right? So let me know what you think about that moving forward. Also, super quick before we go, we do have some fake browser extensions that have been targeting crypto users. I just want to give you guys a warning. Be careful. Make sure you only download the software directly from the manufacturers. They're targeting Ledgers, Trezors, Jax, Electrum, MyEther Wallet, MetaMask, Exodus. So be very safe. And if you're looking to get a hardware wallet, make sure you get it directly from a trusted source. In fact, Ledger has a sale going on right now. You can get 27% off of Ledger if you do buy a family pack, but make sure that when you download the Ledger software, you get it directly from the manufacturer, okay? And if you are looking to buy a Ledger Nano X or S, you can use my link below. It does help support the channel. Also, I do have a tutorial if you're interested how how to learn to set it up. That will be dropping above, so I will leave links below for that as well. And on a final note, China is set to launch its national blockchain platform next week. The platform, called the Blockchain-Based Service Network, is aimed at helping companies deploy blockchain applications faster and cheaper. Will this be a problem for things such as Ethereum and other decentralized smart contract platforms? In my opinion, no. I don't think it will be. I think if a company or a project wants to be decentralized and they want to use something like Ethereum or, Tezos or something of that nature, they already know what they're getting into. They already know that they love the concept of decentralization and they're not interested. I think this is going to be more towards just sort of enterprises that, maybe want to comply with this national blockchain. But personally, I don't really see it affecting things like Ethereum and other blockchain platforms. Could be totally wrong, but for me, I think that people that want decentralized applications, dApps, they're already in it for that reason. They already know what they want to use. I don't really see this as a big problem, but that is just my opinion. So let me know what you guys think below about the Bitcoin price. Let me know what you think about Bitcoin getting dangerously close to this sort of apex. Let me know what you think about the Bitcoin Supercycle and what you think about the Stablecoin ban. You could drop that all in the comments below. Also, if you're interested, you can join the Crypto Zombies community. Totally free. Links above. Thank you so much again for coming back to the channel. You guys rock. You're the reason that I do this every single day. My name is K-Dub. This is Crypto Zombie. Until next time, stay crypto, and of course, peace out.